Number 5. Maqsood Khan's fatal encounter with a white tiger. On September 24, 2014, a young man named Maqsood Khan, resident of New Delhi, India, breathed his last after falling into a tiger enclosure and getting mauled to death by a 200-kilogram white tiger. The incident took place in New Delhi Zoological Park. Maqsood had just turned 20 when he found himself staring into the eyes of a white tiger named Vijay. Eyewitnesses said that Maqsood stepped over the special barrier, after which he either fell into the moat or jumped into the tiger's den. The magnificent 6-foot tiger, Vijay, stared at Maqsood for 15 long minutes before pouncing on him, clamping his jaws on the back of his neck, and carrying him inside his cave. Eyewitnesses state that Maqsood fell into the lion's den after crossing the step-over barrier and seemed to be in a drunken state. Some say he stooped too low in a bid to click a suitable photograph of the tiger, and in the act lost his balance and fell into the den. Eyewitnesses also state that the tiger reacted only after people started pelting stones at the animal. The victim was seen crouching on the ground with his hands folded in a pleading manner, begging the tiger to spare his life. Maqsood's father has clarified that his son was a drug addict and was suffering from a mental ailment. Animal experts have stated that the animal did not attack Maqsood. After onlookers started pelting stones at Vijay, the tiger clamped his jaws around Maqsood's neck and upper shoulder area with an intention of carrying him to safety. Tigers in the wild have been known to carry their babies to safety in a similar way. Animal experts also stated that the animal did not eat the victim after his death, but simply laid the limp body to one side of the cave and sat beside it, as though guarding it. The autopsy on Maqsood also revealed that the victim was in an inebriated state when his death occurred. Number 4. Cancer-stricken man stuns kangaroo. On June 15, 2016, the Australian outback witnessed a shocking incident. Groups of hunters were out in the outback hunting a wild boar, using their dogs as their animal compatriots, when out of nowhere a hunting dog sounded an alarm. When the group of hunters got closer, they witnessed a shocking sight. A large kangaroo was clasping one of their dogs by the neck. A breastplate clasping the neck area of the animal was the only thing separating him from the razor-sharp claws of the kangaroo. The owner of the dog, a 6'7" tall young man named Calum, rushed in to help his animal. Even as he closed in on the scene, the kangaroo made a last-ditch attempt to slice the dog's throat with his sharp claws, but the breastplate saved the animal from getting hurt. The next instant, the kangaroo let go of the dog and stood straight on his hind feet, ready to face his new adversary, Calum. Without a second's hesitation, Calum punched the delicate nose of the kangaroo, a sharp right hook to be precise, that stunned the animal. For a few seconds, the kangaroo stood his ground as though seeking revenge for the unexpected punch, before wisely deciding to back off and disappear into the wild. Unfortunately, sometime after this incident, Calum lost his life to cancer. Number 3. A man's best friend. Who is a man's best friend? A dog, a horse, a cow, a snake, or a lamb? Well, none of them. It seems Joel, a young boy from Spain, has decided to befriend the strangest of the strange animals, a giant stingray fish. Wow, doesn't this defy human logic? It sure does. The Vueltas Harbor, popularly called the Valle Gran Rey Harbor, lies in the Canary Islands of Spain. This harbor is home for a very strange animal-human interaction. In this harbor, the fishermen are habitual of throwing back a part of their catch, which in turn attracts a wide variety of aquatic animals to come close to the shore and enjoy the feed. Joel, a small boy staying at the harbor, has befriended a giant stingray. He splashes the water and calls out his friend. The stingray responds and comes close to the boy, who touches and pats the fish as though it were his pet. While stingrays are not considered harmful for humans, they're known to be equipped with a deadly sting that can prove fatal to any living being on Earth. Number 2. Man's unbelievable swimming companion. Pocho, the American crocodile, has an unusual swimming companion, a man named Gilberto Shedded. You would wonder why a man would choose to swim with a dangerous crocodile, and why would a crocodile allow a man to swim with him? Well, this unusual story has a humane touch to it. Without the humanitarian element, such a friendship cannot survive, especially in water. Apparently, Gilberto rescued a dying crocodile that had been shot in the head and nursed him back to life. He went to the extent of sleeping with him and feeding him chewed food. Thereafter, he kept him in a secluded pond that was located near his home in the forest, before obtaining a necessary government permit that allowed him to legally keep the animal in his house. Gilberto even released the crocodile in a nearby river once the animal had fully recovered, but the crocodile followed Gilberto home. From there on, their friendship blossomed and lasted 23 long years. Gilberto performed with Pocho, the crocodile, in an artificial lake each week to show the others the unusual bond between an infamous animal and a vulnerable human being. The most significant trick of this weekly act was Pocho rushing into the water and swimming towards Gilberto with his mouth wide open. With just inches to spare between the two, the crocodile closed his jaws, thereby allowing Gilberto to kiss him on the snout. The crocodile Pocho died under natural circumstances on October 12, 2011. The stuffed remains of Pocho are preserved in the Siquirres Town Museum. Number 1. Mark Dumas and his polar bear. Can you ever imagine a fully grown man sharing his bed with a 60-stone polar bear? I'm sure even in your wildest dreams, you must have never imagined the same man sharing his swimming pool with the bear. In reality, both these wild incidences have substantial proof to be deemed worthy of your trust. Mark Dumas, the man who shares his bed and pool with the polar bear, a resident of British Columbia, has built a reputation that not many men can hope to achieve. He not only sleeps with a 7-foot-high female polar bear, but he even wrestles with her, playfully of course. While this may be a daily affair for Mark, normal people would find such an unusual relationship a rather shocking affair.